What's up, guys, and welcome to the 18th Formula 1 Grand Prix review here on my YouTube channel and the Twitch stream. If you do not know, every single Monday after a Grand Prix weekend, we hop on the stream and we discuss everything from the previous Grand Prix weekend. We do a bit of a Reddit recap as well. Check out F1 Fantasy, F1 Play, and then I edit up all into a YouTube video to upload a couple days after. Yeah, but we start all off with the live watch-along reactions from the race. If you do not know, every single Grand Prix weekend, for pretty much every single session, I'm live on my Twitch stream, discussing all from the Grand Prix and just, yeah, reacting to it live with you guys. So be sure to tune on into that, especially with the last 4 races of the season. But yeah, anyways, let's start off with the live watch-along reactions. Red flag. Oh, shit. Who's that? Oh, Lance Stroll. Okay, wait, actually, I shouldn't clap. Is he okay? Okay, I think he's good. Well, he's taking a good penalty anyway, but fucking hell, Stroll, man. He's not had a good qualifying this year, I swear. Every single qualifying, there's something going wrong. It's insane. Oh, no. Oh, no, I've got Sainz on my team. Please, please, please. There's no way I put Sainz on my team, and they're about to have a fantastic quali, and this happens. No, I should have cleared my team. Fuck. Come on, come on. Get going, get going, get going. He'll do some, no, he'll do some engine modes. He's fine, he's fine. He's good, he's good. He's good, he's good. Whew. Verstappen had a fantastic start. Bottas are blocking off the Red Bulls right now. 3 wide. Oh, no, this is not ending well. Verstappen's in the lead already. Oh, Bottas is round. Perez is cut. Oh, there's been a big crash. And Yuki's race is over, I think. He's just been hit. Perez is dropping Gasly up into the podium positions right now. Holy fuck, that was insane. Okay, don't worry. Perez is held on to 3rd. All right, well, we've got a Red Bull 2-on-1 to the Mercedes now. Giovinazzi 6th. What? That's really tough for Yuki, man. I mean, he did take a grid pen, but he was having such a good weekend. That's really undeserved. But it's not Gasly. And Mick's out as well. Who's that? Bottas didn't even defend the Red Bull. That is a big throw from Bottas. I'm not going to lie. Imagine defending your teammate and not defending the Red Bull. Oh my God. Ocon's probably got suspension damage from that as well. Man's just tanked it. Holy fuck, the Alpine's built like a tank. Sainz getting past Giovinazzi very quickly. Oh, he's good, he's good, he's good. Oh, that's why you got Let's go, Stroll! And he's got DRS, lads. He's got DRS. The crowd's going crazy. Did Perez get DRS? He did! He did! Let's go! Let's go. All right, 1 lap to go. Or 2 laps to go, sorry. Wait, Leclerc just got past Sainz! Sainz might have just broke down! No. No, no. What's happened to Sainz? What's happened to Sainz? Oh, they swapped back to allow Leclerc to have the points he deserved. That's kind of fucking stupid, though. Sainz was clearly faster. All right, here we go. He's very close. Last lap. 2 DRS zones to do it. 3 DRS zones, actually. Come on. Wow. He's a whole DNF in front of Hamilton now. Crazy, crazy. He's very confidently going into these last 4 races. Perez, unfortunately, couldn't catch Hamilton. Extra 3 points for Lewis there. But Perez did put up a good fight, though. It would have been nice if he got him. Leclerc and Sainz ended up swapping places back. Bottas did get the fastest lap in the end. So Verstappen doesn't get the full 26 points. Yeah, so it wasn't the most craziest race. It was probably, for me, one of the dullest Grand Prix of the year. But it was still entertaining. There was still quite a bit to talk about. The first lap was pretty good, and the ending, not knowing if it was going to be Perez or Hamilton coming out in 2nd place. But yeah, let's start off with the race highlights and discussing a few things. I want to pause it right here. That was a very, very disappointing start from Bottas. Don't get me wrong, Verstappen had a fantastic start. Great launch, slipstream, you know, took kind of a risk going down the inside of Bottas, outside of Bottas, sorry. But man, what a disappointing start from Bottas. He was so, for some reason, focused on squeezing his teammate out to the right that he just left this big giant gap for Verstappen to go past, and Verstappen late on the brakes, got it done, didn't lock up round the corner. I know some people were saying like, oh, what could have Bottas done? Well, maybe if he came over to the left and Lewis followed, that meant Verstappen had nowhere to go. He would have had Perez and Lando. Yeah, they might have lost out to Lando or Perez, but that's not your championship rival. I don't know why the Mercedes, specifically Bottas, was so focused, weren't focused on defending Lewis. Like, look at this. Where was the look at this? All Lewis Bottas had to do here was go right, and I mean Lewis left a fucking big gap, to be fair. All they had to do was both go right. There, yeah, Lewis shuts it, and then Bottas doesn't shut it, and they just let Verstappen pass. That is the biggest fuck up I've seen from Mercedes. And honestly, this well and truly might have won his championship, or cemented his championship, I should say. Obviously, if Lewis went on to win this race and Max finished second or third, that's 7 points to Lewis. That means instead of it being a 20-point gap, it would only be 7 points different. Yeah, he might have literally just cemented his championship with this move and with this fuck up from Mercedes, honestly. And then poor Bottas getting taken out by Ricciardo. Bottas, you know, Ricciardo locked up. It's 100%, 99%, I should say, Ricciardo's fault. He locks up, goes too deep, hits Bottas in the corner. But, I mean, if you're Bottas here and you've got two people either side, he's probably scared, to be honest. He breaks very, very early, loses out 2 positions, almost a 3rd position, and then turns in quite sharp than Ricciardo, but he's allowed to do that, and then gets taken out. Yeah, I don't know how Ricciardo doesn't get a penalty for this. It's no different to any other incident we've seen this year where the driver behind gets the pen. Hungary was obviously a very, very extreme incident where Bottas and Stroll both locked up, and they both got license points and a grid penalty at the following race. And Ricciardo, obviously it's not wet, but locks up, hits Bottas, spins him around, and it's deemed a racing incident. I don't know how that happens. Man's literally ruined Bottas's race and gets away with it scot-free. Yeah, I don't agree with that. The other interesting thing was this from Sergio Perez. Sergio Perez, you're meant to, if you go off track, or both of them actually, I didn't know this Ferrari did as well. If you go off track, you're meant to go around this bollard. And all 3 of them actually, Perez, Gasly, and this Ferrari. I'm assuming I think that's Leclerc, because that's Leclerc. All 3 of them didn't go around the bollard. Yeah, I don't think they deserve pens for that. Oh, well, rules are rules, man. You're meant to go around the bollard. I just don't get the ruling on this. And clearly the rules state you got to go around the bollard, and all 3 of them get away scot-free. I understand it's first lap, but like, if you miss and he was avoiding that's the only thing. That's the only thing I can understand, is they're avoiding a crash, but you should still go around the bollard because it's safety at the end of the day. Yeah, they all rejoined safely, which is good. But at the end of the day, the whole reason the bollard is there is mainly for safety. Yeah, I don't understand that, to be honest. I don't understand that. Not on the start restarts. On the first lap, the rule doesn't count. On the first lap, the rule doesn't count. So that must mean the bollard is literally only there for timing, placing reasons, not for safety. I thought it was there mainly for safety, so these guys don't fucking rejoin in other cars and kill them. According to the FA Sport reg, it states that the rule is avoided during starts or restarts. If I'm Fernando Alonso, then I'm just fucking cutting the corner then, because that's what the rules state. I don't know. It's a bit wishy-washy. And yeah, man, it was so tough for Yuki. He was having a fantastic weekend. I think it was Yuki's first time ever at this track, obviously because F2 and F3 don't go to Mexico. He had a really, really good Grand Prix weekend. All the practices, he was decently on Gasly's pace. Qualifying, he looked good, and then he took his stupid grid pen, which, you know, it's just unlucky that he had to take it at probably one of his best tracks of the year, it seemed. And then yeah, he just gets caught up in the whole sandwich, and it's just rough for Yuki. And then Mick Schumacher as well. I would have liked to have seen what Mick Schumacher could have done this Grand Prix. I think the Williams were very, very slow. Both Russell and Latifi dropping all the way back in the end to the back of the grid. I would have loved to have seen if Mick could have put up a fight with them. I mean, I know Latifi was very, very slow to the point where Mazepin had a chance at actually getting him. So I would have liked to see what Schumacher could have done in this race. So when you watch it from this POV, how this is not a pen, I just don't understand. So alongside, locks up, sees the car in front, essentially T-bones him. Yeah, it was avoidable from Bottas, but like, Ricciardo should be locking up and hitting him there. And Ocon fucking tanked it, dude. Ocon ended up having an absolute awful race in the end. I didn't think the Alpines were going to get points, and Alonso somehow did. So I'm going to assume Ocon might have had some everlasting damage from this, but man's tanked it. Car either side squeezing him, and his car just survived. And it was a very, very good safety car restart from Max. Considering Lewis's straight line speed, he needed to get this right, and he got it very, very good. The fucking Giovinazzi up, was it 7 places? Vettel was into the points. Russell was up quite a bit. Raikkonen was in the points. Mazepin was 1 place off the points at this point. It was a very interesting first lap. That's what happens when you have a crazy crash like this. And yeah, I think a lot of us went into the Grand Prix thinking we were expecting a fantastic Grand Prix. The reason being was because we had both Red Bulls, the faster car, behind the slower car in the Mercedes. Yeah, Mercedes weren't bad, don't get me wrong, but like, it's always fun having the better car behind the slower car, and with the championship battle. We were all looking forward to seeing a Red Bull versus Mercedes battle today. And unfortunately, we all get hyped for these first lap incidents sometimes, the drama, and then when they happen, we're like, fuck, that just might have just ruined the Grand Prix, which it did. We went from getting the sick Merc Red Bull battle to just getting Verstappen cruising on his own, Hamilton just not being able to be fast enough and or get near him with the dirty air, and then Bottas out of the race. So there was just no strategy from either teams really. Yeah, it sucks, man, it sucks. We're kind of robbed of a good Grand Prix just because of that first lap incident. Real quick, I just want to comment on the whole Red Bull versus Mercedes thing. the whole weekend, I think, apart from FP1, I think the Red Bull was 100% the better car. I don't know why people thought Mercedes was sandbagging and purposely playing mind games and were the faster car after quali. Because to me, it was clear that Red Bull were the better car the whole weekend. Mercedes was on the back foot. They then come to quali like they usually do and are able to get the setup right, get the car in the right position, and put it to the Red Bulls. And then both Red Bulls made a mistake, and there you go. You got a Mercedes one too. It was yes, the Mercedes. You got to give props to Mercedes. You can't take that away from them. They improved the car. FP2 to qualifying, they improved the car a lot. But it was also Red Bull's own fuck up. And for Christian Horner to then blame it on Yuki Tsunoda, yeah, it was distracting for Perez, and yeah, it meant Verstappen had to lift in qualifying. But to blame it on Yuki, that's your own fuck up. It's your own fault. You guys should have had better first runs, and you guys should have. I mean, yeah, it's tough for Verstappen, but like, you can't just blame that on Yuki. Like, the Mercedes definitely made strides in that qualifying. Yeah, so at this point in the Grand Prix was very, very exciting because I think at this point we all knew that Verstappen was going to win unless some Baku incident happened where his tire exploded, engine blew up. But it was all down to Hamilton versus Perez. Perez went so long, like he always does, on those tires. For some reason, he just doesn't get tire wear. That, or he just drives so slow to the point that, yeah, he can just save his tires so well. So he had, I think it was 13 lap fresher tires to chase Hamilton down. It got very, very exciting. And yeah, nothing else was going. Look at the gaps, man. I don't know how this happened. I was expecting a really, really good Grand Prix. And everyone was over 2 seconds apart from each other. At this point in the race, there was that scare for Lewis that he was struggling so much with the hot air. As we've seen the last 2-3 years with the Mercedes, it cannot handle the hot air, cannot handle following another car. And at a track like Mexico, where it's very, very hot, the air pressure, and he's following these two backmarker cars, at this point, you know, we had a lot of faith that Perez was going to get past. This was it, the last lap, the last chance. They didn't show it in the highlights, but there was a little bit of backmarker issue, not getting let past. It meant Bottas. Perez went from... What happened, essentially? The backmarkers didn't play a part in it, I'll be honest. In my opinion, the Perez caught up to Lewis. He had his chance. He wasn't able to get close enough. It was just too hot, too much dirty air. Yes, the backmarker dirty air didn't help, but that's racing. There's always going to be so many cars up in front if you're lapping them. It wasn't like the backmarkers did anything wrong. It's just how it is with that many cars down a straight, kicking dirty air back. Perez had his chance. He wasn't able to do it. He cooled off, came back, and then in the last lap went for it. But yeah, just the Mercedes are too strong on the straight, and just one lap wasn't enough to be able to get the move done. And if anyone's genuinely pissed off about the backmarkers costing Perez, think about how much the backmarkers cost Lewis. It really balanced out in the end. It was very, very cool to see Perez on the podium. First Mexican to lead a lap at his home Grand Prix, and first Mexican to be on the podium. Yeah, the scenes were sick. Imagine if he got second. Imagine how hyped that would have been. First Red Bull 1-2 since 2016 Malaysia. To get second at his home Grand Prix would have been sick. It would have been sick. Valtteri Bottas, though, went for the fastest lap. If you haven't seen it, we'll probably see it on Reddit. Actually, I won't be able to show it on the stream. Max opting to lift and hold up Bottas so he can't get the fastest lap. So Bottas had to pit again to go for another fastest lap, which he did end up getting in the end, stealing 1 point away from Verstappen. He obviously doesn't get the point because he was outside the top 10. But hey, with how close the Constructors' Championship is and potentially the Drivers' Championship, that might help Mercedes. Every point counts. So yeah, I guess Bottas wasn't in the points. May as well do it. Cool. I see people saying, oh, if Russell has to do this next year, then what's the point? But unfortunately, Bottas was just put in that position because of Ricciardo, and there's not much he could do. Like, of course, I'd be disappointed if Russell doesn't do stuff like this for the team when he's outside the points. Any driver should be doing this when they're outside the points. All right, it is time to get into the Reddit recap. Let's go top of the week. Let's have a look at all the new news and stuff that got posted over there. Okay, Valtteri Bottas wearing his Fangio award. Wait, what the fuck's a Fangio award? For getting pole at Mexico. Wait, was Fangio... Wait, why Fangio's hat at Mexico? How does that relate? What is the correlation between Fangio and the Mexican Grand Prix? Anniversary, I think? Sergio Perez's special suit for the Mexico GP. This was a lie. This was not for the Mexican Grand Prix. This was for his little event drifting city thingy that he did in the Mexico City to promote the Mexican Grand Prix, which apparently 40,000 people showed up just for that little thing in the city. That's mad numbers. Lewis Hamilton wins the 2021 Wall Street Journal Sports Innovator Award today in New York City. That's cool. There's a lot of great people at that event. By the way, what color is his suit? I saw Ash tweet this out. What color is his suit? Is it purple or blue? It's definitely blue. If you think that's purple, I'm sorry, you're blind. You're blind. Best part of the Mexican Grand Prix, his dad was very, very hyped. To be a fly on the wall, I'm curious to know what they're talking about. F1 rules, vacations, forced conversation, playing footsie. Nobody will never know. I mean, they're all good friends or not good friends, sorry. They're all friendly outside of the sport. They're just in competition. Happy birthday to Batia Bonotto, turns 52 today. Yeah, Mans hasn't been at the races. It won't be at the races for the rest of the season as you'll be focusing on stuff for 2022, which is understandable, but he's also in a team fight with McLaren for millions of dollars, so it's kind of surprising he's not there. Max and Checo raising the Mexican flag. Checo's dad joins, and yeah, there's going to be some sick photos on the F1 photo Reddit after this. Fernando Alonso, Lewis Hamilton cracks under pressure of Max Verstappen. Alonso's really trying to wind Lewis up. He hates him. The Max versus Lewis rivalry in the household. Perez reveals that Red Bull gave him Verstappen's damaged wing. Yeah, so in practice, apparently Verstappen had a bit of a damaged wing, which was causing him to be a little bit slow. So they ended up swapping that wing out for Perez's car, which obviously, and we could visibly see it. Perez was a few tenths off Max in qualifying, surprising after practice, and yeah, that was obviously why. I don't know if they fixed it for the Grand Prix. I'm assuming they did. Yeah, they just didn't have time, I guess, to do it before qualifying. Max Verstappen's helmet from the Silverstone Grand Prix crash is now on display in Max Verstappen's store in Swalen, Netherlands. Damn, that's not blood. That is not blood. I'm assuming that is the red barrier. That's mad. Helmet is definitely, yeah, from the tires, definitely saved his life. Mazepin wants to overtake Mick. Are you having a laugh? I'm not having a laugh. I don't get Mazepin in this. Mazepin trying to overtake Schumacher in qualifying, saying that Mick's going slow when Mick literally has 3 fucking cars in front of him. He's just complaining for the sake of complaining, to be honest, and they're making a big deal about it. First time I've really like properly disagreed with what Mazepin's got mad at, to be honest. Williams wanted Magnussen to replace Russell for 2021. Magnussen's stupid to get rid of Russell. This is completely blown out of proportion. Magnussen's book released over the weekend, and in the book he said that Williams were going to replace Russell with Magnussen, and he made it out as if he was going to replace Russell. But I'm fairly sure anyone with a brain would know that he means replacing Russell if he was to go to Merck this year. But for some reason he didn't say that, and people thought that he was meaning that he was generally going to replace Russell, but no, he was just going to replace Russell if he went to Merck. Keep your head up, Yuki. Don't let the haters get you down. Yeah, when Horner went on a bit of a rant in the post-race interview, post-quali interviews, Mercedes were cheering up on Twitter. You love to see it. You love to see it. Yeah, Sonoda was having a great weekend. He didn't really deserve that hate from Horner, to be honest. 1-1 Lance Stroll helmet I received as a gift from Aston Martin. Damn. That'd be a sick gift. It's a very nice helmet. It's just very bland. It's literally just Aston Martin. It's got nothing to do with Stroll. It's just Aston Martin. Sergio Perez says he will pursue the dream of being an F1 champion in 2022. I hope he puts the fight to Max. If Max does win this year, then we can see a good Red Bull v Red Bull. Flower Power, Lewis Hamilton arriving at the 2021 Mexican GP today. Wonder what brand that jacket. This is probably like a $500 hoodie, to be honest. UK-based F1 personnel will spend 43 hours flying 33,428 kilometers to compete the upcoming triple header. Damn, that's mad. That's mad. Bottas has broken the record for most poles without a World Drivers' Championship. Wow, he passes Rene Arnoux, previous record with his 19th pole. Listed drivers with most poles without a Drivers' Championship. Valtteri Bottas, Rene, Sterling Moss, Felipe Massa, Ronnie Peterson, Rubens Barrichello. Anyways, guys, we're down to the 3K range. That's usually where I end off the Reddit recap. Yeah, bit of a quiet Reddit recap this weekend. Although the Mexican Grand Prix was a very, very hype weekend, ended up being a bit of a dull race, and I guess because it was the first of the first of the triple header, there wasn't too much news coming out. I reckon in the coming weeks there's going to be some banging news about next year. Rumors about Volkswagen and Porsche and Audi could come out in the coming weeks. Yeah. Anyways, let's get over to F1 Fantasy, where once again I fucking dominated. Absolutely banging team. So we picked Gasly. I thought Gasly was gonna have a banging weekend, which he did. I ended up keeping my full Red Bull all eggs in one basket, keeping Perez, Verstappen, and the Red Bull. They end up finishing 1-3, so that was amazing. The best turbo driver I could have had in Perez, Verstappen finishing first, Red Bull finishing 1-3. I then picked Sainz over Leclerc. Reason being is I thought Sainz had the better pace, which he did. It was just very unfortunate, his race start, and that they end up letting Leclerc back past. So I missed out on a few points because he didn't beat his teammate. I think I would have got an extra, like 3 points for beating his teammate, and then 3 points for the extra place. So I missed out on a few points there. But that allowed me to afford Raikkonen, having Sainz instead of Leclerc, And Raikkonen did really, really good, finishing at 8th, beating his teammate. Yeah, very, very good team. I'm fairly sure this might be the best team of the week for non-Mega Driver users. So let's go over to the Fantasy League now. I am currently sitting in P2, but P1 out of the people who haven't used their Mega Driver yet. I am, what is that? 30-ish points ahead of T-Mac, who's the next person who hasn't used their Mega Driver. And the person who has used the Mega James leading with his Mega Driver, using his Mega Driver, is only 60 points ahead. So I'm going to assume that I should get more than 60 points for my Mega Driver if I use it correctly. So yeah, we're doing well. We're doing well. We might win our own league if we keep this up. Let's have a look at who did have the best team this week. So it was obviously James with his Mega Driver, then username unavailable. And then Short Kings had the best non-Mega Driver team of the week. Who did he have? He had Verstappen, Perez Turbo Driver, Gasly, Norris, Sainz, Red Bull. How did he afford this team? He would have needed another 6 million to be able to afford 5 million to be able to afford Norris. He has another 4 mil more than me. What? Okay, well, yeah, that's definitely the best team you could have this week, but I doubt anyone could afford that team. And then me, I finished up 2nd for the week. I had the 2nd best team of the week out of the people who didn't use their Mega Driver. Yeah, I killed it. 2 weeks in a row, I've had absolutely banging teams. Ando close behind as well on 247. Let's move over to F1 Play. We got 5 out of 10 this week. Is that our best of the season? Oh, no, we got 6 at France. Still, good weekend from us. So no one got 10 out of 10. 0.01 got 9 out of 10. 0.22 got 8 out of 10. 1.5 got 7 out of 10. 5.18 got 6 out of 10. We got 5 out of 10, which was 12%. The majority was 25% on 3 out of 10. Yeah, anyways, let's go have a look at our predictions. So we got the podium right. I went Max fastest lap because I thought Max was going to lead the Grand Prix and do well. Obviously, never going to... technically, this is right. You know, if you exclude people going out of their way to get the fastest lap. But yeah, ended up being Valtteri Bottas. I said first finish in Q1. I went with Sainz. I was tossing up between Gasly and Sainz, but I went with my gut, my heart. I went with Sainz. I thought Gasly, as you'll see down here, I just had a feeling Gasly, it was too good to be true. I felt like Gasly was just going to get taken out lap 1, so I thought Sainz was going to be best finisher in Q1. So we ended up getting that wrong. I did predict Vettel highest finisher in Q2. Obviously got the retirement wrong. I said there was going to be 17 finishes. There was 18. I said there was going to be a safety car. We got that correct. And I thought it was going to be a close race. Ended up being 12 to 20 second margin. God damn. All right. And in the F1 Play League, the best of the week was James P. 8 out of 10. Damn, well done. Stev on 6 out of 10. Myself, MB Gould, T-Mac, Valerie on 5 out of 10. Grid Jokes and Pearsy on 4 out of 10. Bunch of people on 3 out of 10, 2 out of 10. No one got 1 out of 10. But yeah, well done, James. Fuck, I think that's the most amount of points someone's got in the entire season of my league. All right, guys, that's going to conclude the 18th Formula 1 Grand Prix review here on my YouTube channel. Yeah, appreciate all of you guys tuning in. It wasn't the best race. There wasn't a lot to talk about, but it was still a decent Grand Prix. I mean, I keep saying this every week. We're at that stage now with Formula 1 this year where I don't think we can have like a terrible race that's completely boring. There's always going to be stuff to talk about. There's always going to be the championship swinging one way or the other. But yeah, appreciate all of you tuned in to the Twitch stream for the watch-alongs throughout the weekend. And yeah, we've got a big weekend coming up this week for the Brazilian Grand Prix. Same time, same place on the stream for every single session. Well, for qualifying, sprint, and the race. It's a sprint weekend. The last 2 sprint weekends, Monza and Silverstone, have been absolutely mad. So let's hope we get another insane Grand Prix this weekend. Apparently, there's a chance of wet. So yeah. But yeah, appreciate you guys all tuning in. I'll see you guys all for this weekend for the Brazilian Grand Prix.